What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video here of the Arizona Sports Fan. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about the aftermath of the Arizona Cardinals versus the Carolina Panthers. What did we learn about this Arizona Cardinal team going into week 5 and playing a very hot NFC West contender in the Philadelphia Eagles? Let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Roll that intro. All right, everybody, welcome back in. Happy Victory Monday to everybody out there. We are currently sitting at 2-2 in the division, pretty much just tied up with everybody. As long as the San Francisco 49ers can do their job today on Monday Night Football, I think a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans can probably breathe at least a little bit better this Monday night. Now, granted, as of right now, this Arizona Cardinal team is sitting at 2-2, beating the Carolina Panthers 26-16 over the weekend. And we got a lot of things to talk about for this game, just in general, right? Now, before we get started, definitely do me one huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We are throwing out content daily on this channel, as well as we're on the road to 10,000, so definitely go ahead and subscribe it up if you haven't yet already. Helps me out, helps the channel grow out, so let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started here on the aftermath of week 4, the win over the Carolina Panthers. Now, I definitely want to give some kudos over to some Arizona Cardinal fans. On the defensive side of the ball, Zach Allen had himself a day. Now, to me, specifically, Zach Allen has progressed very, very well. I'm actually excited to see what he's, blossoming into right in front of our eyes. He had one sack, but not only that, man, he was, I don't know, I love that he's basically like, it looks like almost like he's getting like very, very like technical stuff from JJ Watt. Like they look to be very close with each other, or at least he's learning very well from JJ Watt, and that's something that I love to see. So Zach Allen on the defensive side of the ball just wreaked havoc every chance he possibly could get, got a sack, 3 tackles, 3 assists, just overall did a very, very good job. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Marquise Hollywood-Brown, man. This guy is as advertised. I'm very excited about Marquise Hollywood-Brown and Kyler Murray and their connection, and it's just only getting better the more and more that they play games with each other. So those are my MVPs of this game. Offensively, Marquise Hollywood-Brown. Defensively, Zach Allen. Kyler Murray is also notable as well, but we're going to go ahead and give it over to Marquise Hollywood-Brown, just what he has done for this offense just in general. So let's go ahead and dive right into here. Those are the positives about this game. Obviously, we also won. That's a huge positive on its own, being that we're 2-2. But let's talk about, the aftermath, the stuff that a lot of people don't like talking about. And that is that we do see still a lot of concerns for this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, one thing I want to make sure that everybody's fully aware of, that you can tell me left and right, please, Mike, don't be negative, but to me, it's not being negative. To me, it's being truthful. To me, it's being, this is what the Arizona Cardinals should fix if they want to get to the Super Bowl, if they want to win a Super Bowl, because as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals have never won a Super Bowl in Arizona, and that's the end goal, right? The days of like, hey, as long as we're doing this, doing that, I'm happy. That's not the way that it works with me. So yes, I do got some critiques here and there that we want to get to the end goal, right? And the end goal is the Super Bowl. So let's dive right into it, right? Here's some things that obviously I'm still a little concerned with. And one of the biggest things is Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, although yes, on the second half, it definitely seemed like our offense finally got into a rhythm, but man, how long did it take for us to get into this rhythm, right? It almost had to take a very bad team in the Carolina Panthers, and as of right now, I'm pretty convinced that Baker Mayfield just isn't it. Like, man, he was struggling. His ball was always getting batted down. He was overthrowing balls as well, and he just did not look comfortable in this offense with Matt Rule. So a very struggling Carolina Panthers team, which the Arizona Cardinals should have beaten, and we did, thankfully, but it really took our defense to really show up and pretty much harass Baker Mayfield left and right in order for our offense to finally gel, in order for us to finally wake up. And that's concerning, right? Especially when we're playing those teams like the Eagles, the Rams, those big heavy hitter teams that are not going to allow you to come back in because the offense doesn't decide to wake up, or the play caller is not giving great plays in order for us to trick the defense. And I think that's one of the biggest, stuff that's still not quite answered quite yet for Arizona Cardinal fans, and that's where the frustration is coming from, right? Not trying to be like, oh my god, no, this win doesn't count. The win counts, right? We got the win in the column, we're 2-2, but the Arizona Cardinals got both of their wins on teams that they should have beaten, right? The two teams that were, in contention to the playoffs or in contention for Super Bowls, they absolutely obliterated the Arizona Cardinals. The Kansas City Chiefs, we had no chance in the world from the Kansas City Chiefs. The Rams, they do what they do with us every single year. Nothing's changed. And I think that's a message that I'm really trying to get across to the people out there that are like, oh my God, we won, right? Keep it positive. No, it's cool that we won, but at the bottom line is we need to figure this stuff out. And if we don't, we're going to find ourselves an early round exit in the playoffs, or maybe not even making it into the playoffs. And I think that's one thing that I'm trying to avoid as an Arizona Cardinal fan. So that's something that's very concerning, right? Cliff's play calling, his inability to get this offense going and avoid all these silly timeouts that we have to do because our offense can't get on the field in an appropriate amount of time. His play calling, everything just wrapped up into one. Burning all our timeouts before the half whenever we need them. That stuff never got fixed. This is the year 4. We would hope and pray that it would have gotten fixed, and it still hasn't. Now Cliff needs help, and I think he just doesn't want to say that he needs help, and I don't get why, right? Something needs to give, and Cliff isn't doing it. He just isn't it. So there's one big call out, one obviously huge negative that's coming around is that Cliff just hasn't figured it out quite yet in terms of the time management and everything that has to do with being a head coach within the NFL. Another big thing is that Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, right? They kind of got back and forth into very familiar words, right? Kyler Murray absolutely got super pissed off with Cliff Kingsbury, being that he wasn't going fast enough because of between each play, they got 40 seconds to do everything that they need to do to get that next play up and going, right? To get that ball snapped. And they were pissed off with each other. And if you guys didn't see this video, here it is right here. You can tell definitely obviously frustration, right? Frustration all across the board from Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. I think that there was a video that caught Cliff Kingsbury said no shit over to Kyler Murray when Kyler Murray was doing this and saying, we got to go, we got to get this moving. And there's just that level of, man, how is this not fixed yet? Like, right, this is supposed to be the leader of men that's supposed to be knowing everything, right? And the guy that's supposed to answer all the questions, and he just doesn't have the answers to all the questions. And it's very weird that we're here right now, right? It's almost kind of seems like, hey, this has to be something that we were learning through for year 1 or even year 2. I'll give him a little bit of time, but we're still dealing with frustrations from the quarterback to the head coach, and that's pretty concerning on its own. Now, after that happened, it seemed like we finally kind of got into a rhythm with our offense, and we woke up and we started scoring points back and forth, and the Arizona Cardinals looked very, very good at that point. And I think that's what a lot of fans are kind of leaning their hat on, right? Like, hey, we figured it out. Everything's looking good, but this is a team that we should have beaten. The Carolina Panthers are absolutely terrible. They're an absolute garbage fest, and Matt Rule is probably going to be one of the first head coaches to get fired in this season. So this is how it should have played out, right? We're 2-2. We didn't stand a chance against those dominant teams because our head coach just isn't that guy. And that's one thing that a lot of people want to cover that band-aid off and say, okay, well, we're 2-2, we're fine. We got DeAndre Hopkins. Our offense shouldn't lean this heavily on a specific player. It shouldn't. And if it does, we need to figure out a way to fix it, because that's not a good way of doing things, right? And that's the reason why we saw that big debacle down in the Rams game, because we just didn't have the ability to adjust. So a lot of kind of things that happen within this aftermath. Yes, I'm happy. Yes, I'm excited. We're 2-2. We're right back there in the division. But in the long-term goal, I think we still got a lot of learning to do. I still think we got a lot of fixing to do on this offense just in general. The defense did very well. I got to give kudos to where kudos is due, and Vance Joseph does deserve a lot of that kudos, especially because Steve Keim took himself a nice healthy vacation in this offseason and did nothing to help out Vance Joseph. So yes, it started struggling in the beginning, but he kind of has to work with what he has, and he has done a good job. Zaven Collins has looked very well. So I'm excited to see what his progression is going to look like just kind of for years to come. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game and how you're feeling about the aftermath after the whole situation of Cardinals versus Panthers. Put everything in the comments below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.